Okay, let's call city council meeting to order. It's the city of West Liberty, Iowa, July 20th, 2021. We had a regular work session prior to tonight's meeting. We have all counselor present. Councilmember Veronica is on by Zoom. And we have Lee Dirk, city treasurer clerk, also present. Do I have a motion for approval of the agenda?
Motion to approve agenda?
Second.
Motion and second, further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. We are on to the approval of the consent agenda, and there's one item on that tonight, and that's the council meeting minutes for July 6th, 2021.
Motion to approve the minutes?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. We have a vendor vouchers claims list in front of us tonight in the amount of $539,967.35. Is there a motion?
Motion.
There's a motion and a second.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0. Public comments and correspondence. Let's go ahead and go around the room. Councilmember Rock? Councilmember Zacharias?
No.
Councilmember Fair?
Not this,
Councilmember Smith?
Nothing.
And Councilmember Bronick?
Yes, I had one, but I forwarded it to Lee to handle it because I didn't think I'd be here.
Okay, and Lee? Public comments?
yep, and I have that from Councilmember Veronic, and I'm looking through that. And I will provide an update at the next meeting in August on that information. And then we also received from Ann Dotson. She had contacted me with regards to a follow-up from a complaint from after a picnic in the park. There was some music and disturbance going on at the park. And it was my understanding, when I spoke with Ann, I reached out to speak with the police department, and Interim Chief Lyra had communicated that Councilmember Jose had been, Zacharias had been in contact with him as well, and that he had went to the park to resolve the issue, and the individuals were packing everything up and leaving. The only other piece of this would be to follow up with the Chamber of Commerce, since it was their event, and just see, going forward in the future, if there's anything that we can do to make sure that when the event is done, that everyone is, leaving the park and the music is done at that time, and the other extracurricular activities that were happening as well. So I will continue to work with the chamber and talk to Lyra more and follow up with Ann Dotson on that. Then John Gersprin stopped by City Hall today to visit, actually to share his frustrations with regards to a city right-of-way tree that fell into his yard and destroyed his fence. There was some property damage to the side of his house. And so again, Supervisor Ed from the Electric Department, Ed Traverse, and Street Superintendent Adam Reinhardt and I, all three went over to visit with John to discuss our plan to correct the situation, and we'll continue to follow up with John, and I can bring you more as we get through that, but just in case if you would happen to hear from him on that. The other part of that too is that we did receive a legal filing from Attorney Clark's office yesterday. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, and good, let's go on to old business. We have a second reading. This is approving the application to change the agricultural zone to a mixed zoning of R1, R2, and R3 for the residential development northeast corner of East Rainbow Drive in Garfield. Is there a motion?
Oh.
Is there a second?
Second.
This motion is second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. Councilmember Browning,
Yes.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Barron,
Yes.
Councilmember Zacharias,
Yes.
Councilmember Rock.
Yes.
Second reading passes 5-0. We have a second reading, and just for you guys, so if anybody wants to know, that is 2021-0420-01. And the second ordinance in front of us, another second reading, and this is -02. It's the golf cart ATVs and UTVs in the city of West Liberty, Iowa.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the second reading and waive the third with the start date 30 days.
I second that.
There's a motion to approve it and waive the third reading. And is there any further discussion? Okay. Hearing none, I will start with Councilmember Rock,
Yes.
Councilmember Zacharias,
Yes.
Councilmember McFerrin,
Yes.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Browning.
No.
Passes 4-0,
We're good. One.
4-1.
or 4-1, sorry about that. Can't count tonight.
So, Mr. Mayor, if I could just take a moment, with the effective date, within 30 days, that will allow the city to finalize ordering, putting together some documentation. Our new police chief will be on and we'll organize the review of the equipment and get that trained, and also work with our vendor to order the stickers for the vehicles or the ATV equipment.
So I have a question, step
Mhm.
backwards a half a step. We do not have on the agenda to waive the third reading. Can that be done?
I guess my understanding is that you can waive it through a motion. What I'll have to do is I'll follow up with the attorney to make sure.
I think we can.
Okay, I just want to make sure because I want to,
Mhm.
you know,
Is 30 days enough time for you though to have everything so that the people are on the roads?
Diane, given your time on council, do you remember if we have to? It was my understanding you can make that motion to waive the third.
Robbie did it right. You make a motion to approve the second and waive the third. And that can be done just like Robbie did it.
I just wanted to make sure so we didn't have any issues like.
Understood, yeah. And likewise, I'll follow up with council just to make sure, legal counsel to make sure that we, but 30 days is more than enough time
Okay,
to, because we already have, everything is outlined in the ordinance. I think the most important pieces here is that we have during the 1st of August and working through getting the stickers ordered with the vendors and getting the administration staff prepared for those things, so, yeah. And therefore, then also we post publicly the start date effectively, so we can start taking appointments with the police department to review and inspect and then assign the stickers.
You threw me off, Robbie, since we had done a third reading in a long, we haven't waived a third reading in a long time.
Well, it's just, we already went through a couple of matters.
Right, so we redid it.
Okay, so we're gonna go on to new business, a resolution 2021-0720-30 to approve the end year transfer for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2021.
Motion to approve year transfer.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
I just wanted to bring up, Mr. Mayor, again, this is something that going forward we'll have done prior to the end of June 30th, as we discussed during our audit. But again, we had not had them in as a resolution as of yet, so just so we're clear from those comments that going forward it will be before the end of.
Any further? Hearing none, Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember McFerrin,
Yes.
Councilmember Zacharias,
Yes.
Councilmember Rock,
Yes.
Councilmember Veronic,
yes,
passes 5-0. Resolution -31 to approve and set fiscal year 2022 salary wages for employees of the city of West Liberty, Iowa.
Move to approve.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. Councilmember Zacharias,
Yes.
Councilmember Rock,
Yes.
Councilmember Veronic,
yes,
Member Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember McFerrin.
Yes.
Passes 5-0. We have resolution -32, and this is the approve the pay estimate 3 to SG Construction in the amount of $90,951.26. And this for the West Liberty Police and City Hall Building Upgrade Project.
Motion to approve pay estimate number 3.
For a second?
Second.
Motion second. Is there any further discussion?
So we, I do have a report and I will provide you, there was a site visit, on July 13th. And I received a report from, Tara Goldsberry, and going through, so most of all the interior walls are been, drywalled and they've been mudded, all the windows are installed, the HVAC unit is installed. It's not hooked up yet because we want to wait until all of the drywall is done being sanded. Of course, the dust, we don't want that to get into the new system. And we also did run into, in the front of the building, that has never been ADA. And so that'll be something coming up at the next meeting in August. We will have to have a change order. But again, what my communication was with Tara is that we, per our code, because we're updating the building, we're required to make that ADA compliant. So the team there from Eastern Kim has been, working closely on site. There's been a couple hiccups, but again, they've Tara and I think it's Jacob, they both have been very diligent about working through, as I've communicated before. So, B&K recommended to pay and staff as well, so. Leo, is there anything you want to add from your side of it since you're listening in, or?
No, I did talk to Tara today, and it sounds like this pay estimate you're going to approve is about 50% of the work. And she says they're ahead of that, so I think there's no problem with approving the pay estimate.
Okay, anything further? Hearing none, Councilmember Veronic,
yes,
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Farren,
Yes.
Councilmember Zacharias,
Yes.
Councilmember Rock,
Yes.
passes 5-0. Next event is proving event permit for Nicole Rock Dance Studio on the 21st of August. There is a rain date of August 28th for the street closure and water use.
Move to approve.
Is there a second? Motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Staff recommends approving as well.
Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Any opposed?
Abstain, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. 4-0 with one abstention. Okay, we are on to setting the finance committee meeting. This is to review the merger of U Sports with the city of West Liberty.
So Mr. Mayor, Director Heath, and I haven't, he's on the Zoom meeting. Director Heath has been working through what was asked of him with some financial information, staffing, and so we believe we're prepared to make a presentation to the finance committee to take a look at cost scheduling and staffing, and we are on a tight timeline, as he had stated before. So with that said, I know I will be out of the office latter of next week, but we would like to make a recommendation if possible to meet with the finance committee on Tuesday, the 27th, I think, hold on here a second, I'm sorry.
That is the 27th.
July, yes, Tuesday, July 27th, to meet with the finance committee to discuss, this, so we're prepared for a recommendation for the August 3rd. And again, our recommendation would be, what time's gonna work best with the finance committee?
Probably 4:30 for me. Well, I may be able to meet earlier. It all depends on whether or not I can get somebody to pick William up in Coralville.
So my recommendation would be is that we can at least set the date,
Okay,
and then we can follow up and settle down on a time then, over the next day or two. Okay,
So, works for Jose also.
okay,
Okay,
so, and that's all I needed to do was just put a date in here and good to go.
sounds good.
And I'll
Yeah.
follow up with them.
Okay, you don't need a motion, do you?
Nope,
Okay. Let's go ahead and go with the reports. Leo, you're up.
Okay, next week and the following week, we should be out in West Liberty surveying on Rainbow and Maxon, getting that project kicked off. Also, Lee has asked us to take a look at a survey for the Dutton property and the acquisition plat that's needed. So I'll be talking to her tomorrow on that. Hopefully we can just kind of wrap those two together and get them done. And the third thing is the well number 2. We did run into a snafu at the roof where I guess in the past they used to come in through the doors, but now there's a building in front of the door, so they have to come in through the roof. Sounds like Ed has a roof contractor on board to do some other roof work. I was going to talk to him about maybe helping us out just a little bit on that project to so we can get that well number 2. They need to come in through the roof to get the brushing done. So I've called Ed today. I also talked to who I thought was a contractor, Kenny Morrison, but I'll get back with Ed tomorrow and we'll get that worked out. It'll probably put the well work back to August, and I think that'll be all right with Northway. That's well number 2. Next thing on my list was Geary property. We did get final plans and they were signed and had the few changes that we asked them to do. So those plans look like they're in pretty good shape now. And I don't think we have any more engineering issues with the Geary property, Alta Ventures phases 3 and 4. And that's all I had for tonight.
Any questions for Leo? Thank you, Leo. The water sewer report, is Danny with us tonight? Any good deal?
no, he's not,
Okay.
Mr. Mayor. He did provide a very detailed
Yep.
and provided you a lot of information there, so.
Usually does. It's in our council packet. Is Craig with us tonight? Wastewater? Okay, that report's also in the council packet. And we're down to Nick Heath. Nick, anything else other than what's already been discussed in your report?
No, just we just got the report back from the health inspector today in the mail, and we have some things that we need to address at the pool here in the future. So I will present those at some point to you guys.
Okay, any questions for Nick? Okay, thank you, Nick.
Have a good night.
Okay. Did I miss anybody with city reports, committees, or commissions? Any council members have anything to report? Hearing none?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Just real quick, I just wanted to follow up. I have completed all of the documentation for the American Rescue Funds. So that's been submitted to the state. And so then the next piece of the process will begin with the funding. The other thing I've already told you I'll be out later next week with some training. The other, let's see, I had a couple more pieces here. Can't think of them, but I'll follow up in emails with you on those. So, and I didn't know if David had anything that he needed to add. I know he's working on getting this direction as soon as he can, and it's been nice working with him so far on some things, so.
Just looking forward to getting moved to the area. We've got our house sold here and have an offer accepted on one. within the 20-mile radius. So we're looking forward to getting up there and getting started to work.
Okay, sounds good.
I did remember the two pieces we have is we did receive an updated preliminary plat from the other Dutton projects, so that needs to go before planning and zoning to review. And then the other part of that is, just as Leo said, we received the information with regards to the Short Street project. And I just need to, again, I'll talk to Leo tomorrow, and then I have to identify what our next steps are within our code, what we need to do, because the original development was already approved. And so it's my understanding it does not need to go back to planning and zoning because it's already went through that process. So then it'll be the discussion if there's additional development requests. And again, I don't want to hold these individuals off very long, but at the same time, I really like to have, our new city manager in place and be a part of these discussions and pieces, especially given his experience on this. So just to keep council aware of those processes. So now I'll be quiet, so.
Okay, sounds great. Is there a motion to adjourn? Motion second?
Yeah.
Is there any further? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? We're closed for the evening.